They star in movies,
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
have their own week of dedicated programming, and are still largely misunderstood by the public. We are, of course, talking about sharks. In fact, we'd like to point out that sharks are actually the seagulls of the water world because they will eat anything, and we do mean anything. Before we get that scuba gear on, be sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Who knows, you might even be featured in our next viewer shoutout. Wine. How does a shark wash down its dinner? In the 1940s, French fishermen allegedly caught a blue shark that had a perfectly preserved bottle of vino in its belly. According to all reports, the wine tasted great, even though no one knows just how it got there. Cannonball. Talk about indigestion. Back in the 19th century, Caribbean fishermen hauled in a shark with the rest of their catch. After cutting it open, they discovered a cannonball inside the beast. One theory is that it ate a sailor who was buried at sea and weighed down by a cannonball so he'd sink. A gangster. After catching a 14-foot-long tiger shark, Australian fishermen took it to a Sydney aquarium. Days later, the shark refunded an arm with a very distinct tattoo on it. Thanks to the tattoo, they were able to determine that the arm belonged to James Smith, a bookie and small-time crook who went missing weeks beforehand. Talk about sleeping with the fishes. Big ol' bag of money. Speaking of crime, one fishing crew found quite the surprise in their catch. Allegedly, once the shark was cut open, a bag filled with cash was discovered. We've heard of keeping your money in a safe place, but this is kind of ridiculous. Maybe it was one of Floyd Mayweather's sharks. Fur coat. Well, since we're talking about sharks who are so baller they have their own big ol' bags of money, why not a fur coat? That's right, one shark was actually caught with a fur coat stuck inside of it. Now, we understand why the shark would have eaten such an item. What we don't get is how a fur coat ended up in the water and near a shark. Video camera. Like celebrities, sharks just can't stand the paparazzi. We know this for a fact because of what happened to diver Mark Taggart. While capturing some footage in the Bahamas, a shark swam right up and just ate his video camera. It likely tasted awful, and the shark refunded the device moments later. Still, that's an unusual thing to be inside of a shark. Ooh, it's that time again. It's time for us to get out of the water and give a shout out to Warren Buttigieg, who says, "I have been with this channel for a long time and I love this channel. Thank you." No, thank you, Warren, for that great comment. It's always nice to hear feedback from you guys, and it's nice to know that you've been around for a while. Echidna. We won't get super technical here, but all you need to know is that an echidna is like an Australian porcupine. Covered in sharp spines, you'd think it would be the last thing a shark would want to eat. Yet, somehow, Australian fishermen reeled in one shark that had this indigestion-inducing creature stuck inside of it. Yikes, that has gotta be uncomfortable. Tires. Whether from a sunken barge or simply thrown away, it turns out quite a few automobile tires find their way into the sea. Throw in the garbage-loving tiger shark, and we think you can see where we're going with this. Whether hungry or just looking for a chew toy, we're betting the shark that was caught with a tire in its belly definitely regretted that meal. Reindeer. If Santa's a little late getting to your house this year, we may have found the reason why. One Greenland shark was found to contain the remains of an entire reindeer. Growing to over 20 feet in length, these large sharks can clearly hold a lot of food. Thankfully, the reindeer did not have a red nose. Another shark. While it makes sense, you never really think of a shark eating another shark, but it happens. In 2013, researchers had just caught a dogfish shark and were in the process of reeling it in when out of the blue a sand tiger shark emerged and swallowed it whole. Think of it like a shark-style Ukrainian nesting doll, only a lot messier and disturbing. License plates. Apparently, it's not that uncommon to find a shark with a license plate in its stomach. You'd expect plates from areas bordering the water, but when a Kansas plate turned up, that left everyone baffled. Let's just be grateful Toto wasn't included. Chicken coop. Finding a chicken inside a shark may not impress you that much. However, we guarantee you that the fishermen who caught a tiger shark off the coast of Florida were definitely shocked when they found a whole chicken coop inside a shark. That's right, wood, wire, chickens, the complete package was swallowed right up. It just leaves us wondering how on earth a chicken coop ended up in the water. Keg of nails. We imagine during a storm one night, a barrel of nails just happened to jostle free and roll off the deck of a ship. Why do we imagine that? Well, because it's the only real way we can think of a whole keg of nails ending up in the belly of a great white shark. Not done there, that same shark also contained several bottles of beer. Polar bear. Once you know a Greenland shark was found with a whole reindeer in it, we bet you won't be surprised to find out another one was caught with a polar bear in its belly. Hey, we're glad these things are rarely seen. After all, anything that can eat a polar bear is something that we want to steer clear of. A suit of armor. We're a bit skeptical of this, so bear with us. Hundreds of years ago, French researcher Guillaume Rondelet wrote that a shark was caught and found to contain a full suit of armor inside. Inside that armor was, allegedly, a person. How the knight ended up in the shark is beyond us, yet it sounds like the plotline for a really bad B-movie. One that's so bad it's great. Now, before we go, we've set up another video for you to watch, and we'd love it if you remember to subscribe to our channel. Throw us a thumbs up, and if your comment is super awesome, it might just get featured in a future video shoutout. We'll see you next time.